A lot of guys are just afraid to be men now and they're just getting whipped by their women. I don't agree with that. I don't know why that's happened. I want to bring it back.
I've always had your back. Like, I'm embarrassed for you. I told you that the first commitment ceremony broke my heart. And now I feel like you've broken my heart again. And I feel like the biggest idiot.
Oh my goodness. Explosive stuff. How lucky are we to have Tracey with us?
Welcome to the Lunchbox with Janine and Tom. Let's get into it.
Tracey, Sunday night, you chose to stay. I can imagine there's going to be a lot of people screaming at their TVs asking, why? Why are you staying with Dean? What do you say to that?
I know. I think people aren't just screaming. I think they're throwing things at their TV at this point in time. Everyone has opinions of me and Dean. We're certainly the controversial couple. But I'm doing what's right for me, and I'm trying to see the best in Dean, and I'm trying to make it work. He is trying to turn a corner. I mean, he's really trying to commit to me and make it up to me, all the things he's done. But he just keeps doing stupid things. It's like he can't help it.
Tracey, you said everyone has an opinion and they're probably throwing things at their TVs, but they're also taking to social media. And what we've noticed is that there's some pretty serious trolling and cyberbullying going on, and mainly from other women on social media. How do you feel about what people are writing?
Yeah, so I wanted to manage my own social media because I love commenting and answering my supporters' questions, and I really, really appreciate all the love and support. But you know what? Haters are going to hate, and some of it's a little bit below the belt, you know, bringing my daughter into it when it's got nothing to do with her. And I'm human, and yes, it's hurtful, but luckily my supporters kind of stand up and they kind of go off on their own tangents and handle it on behalf of me, which is really nice to see. I think haters and cyberbullying is just a reflection of them, not on me.
Well, last week was International Women's Day, and Dean took to Instagram to declare that you're a real woman. You actually schooled him on his grammar because he spelt your without the apostrophe RE. Is bad grammar a deal breaker for you in a relationship?
I was just trying to make light of the situation, and me and Dean have a bit of good banter and we do make fun of each other, and I just thought, being a writer, I couldn't let it go, so I was just trying to have a bit of fun.
And Tracey, it's not just social media that you've had issues with. The mainstream media give you a bit of a runaround. I'm sure you've seen all the headlines this week that you're pregnant with Dean's child. What do you say to that?
Well, it's definitely not true, and don't believe everything you read. I see the humorous side in it.
Tracey, it's good that you do see the humour in it, because some of the things that are said are pretty full on. And like you, I'm a mum to a little girl, and now more than ever it's important to raise them to be resilient, independent, you know, strong young women, and in particular teaching them what is acceptable in a relationship. There are a lot of viewers that say the way Dean has treated you is disrespectful and not acceptable. So what do you say to that?
Well, you're right. You know, I have very high morals and standards, and I know to some people they disagree with that. And my parents have been married for over 50 years, and they've always taught me that it's a lot easier to walk away. It's harder to stay. People do make mistakes, and people do deserve second, third, fourth chances. And I'm proud of the person I am. Of course, I'm not going to allow myself to be disrespected, and I do have standards when it comes to cheating and things like that. But you have to give people the benefit of the doubt, and people do deserve chances. We're not perfect, and I'm not perfect. It's not black and white situations, and we do the best we can, and I think that comes to parenting as well. We all try and be the best parent that we can. And I tell my daughter all the time, I don't expect her to be perfect, and I'm not perfect, and I think that's a very real and honest relationship to have.
And Tracey, you are the author of a couple of books, Don't Mess with the Goddess and This Goddess Means Business, all about helping women and supporting women. So what about for those viewers that say how Dean's treated you is not in line with that? What do you say to that?
Well, you know, I think it takes a strong woman to put up with everything Dean's thrown my way and not run away. So I actually say the opposite. And I don't like the long bow some people have drawn about using the domestic violence and hashtag #MeToo, because Dean's certainly not like that, and I'm going to absolutely defend Dean when it comes to those type of accusations. He is a bit of a guy. He doesn't think before he speaks. Sometimes he's a bit of a caveman, but that doesn't make him an abusive person or anything in that kind of realm. So I do stand by what I say in my book.
Tracey, not everybody can go on a social experiment on national TV. So for those people that are looking for love, any other suggestions on how they might be able to find it?
Oh, look, I've tried everything. I'm a relationship type of girl. I love being in a relationship. I have way too much love to give not in a relationship. And I've tried matchmaking. I've tried online dating. I've tried blind dates. That was a horrible experience. And I thought, why not? Why not give it a go and leave it to the experts to choose for me? No regret. Sometimes, love is worth the risk, right? And you have to put yourself out there. It's not going to find you on a Friday night if you're sitting in front of your TV and knock on your door, is it?
That's exactly right.
Absolutely not. But just on that, in dating and mainstream sort of media, there is pressure for women especially to look a particular way. You've spoken in the past about having cosmetic surgery. There's a lot of really quite young women sort of heading down that road and facing those pressures now. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, for me, it's not something I've done my whole adult life. I started doing it after my divorce at the age of 30. And it was just something I wanted to do for me. We have to make our own decisions, and I certainly don't agree with doing it for other people or media influence or peer pressure. I did it for myself, so I'm comfortable with my choices and what I've had done. So I think, for girls that are 20 and more impressionable, trying to do it to keep up with appearances or for peer pressure, they're the wrong reasons to do it.
Well, Tracey, it has been an absolute pleasure to watch you on Married at First Sight, even though it has been an emotional roller coaster for all of us. We wish you all the best in the future, and
thank you.
We can't wait to see what unfolds next week.
It's certainly going to be
Yes.
great viewing, I think.
Not long to go now, people.